Hello everybody, it's Dan, your friendly fishmonger at dansfish.com. We have a tour today of some amazing fish. Some of these we've been out of stock on for a long time, but we've got them back, so check these out. Okay, let's start with these. These are one of the prettiest gobies ever to swim on the face of the earth. This is Stiphodon rutilaureus. They get amazing bright blue, neon blue on their faces, bright red on the body, and then they have these nice lace patterns in their finnage. So they're still coloring up. We've only had these they're still in quarantine. We've only had them for, let's see here, just over a week now. And they're already starting to get their color. You can see the nice fat bellies. Like, this is a very nice group of these fish. They're eating well for us. We feed them, this is what this pellet here that you'll see them go and chew on in the corner in the front there. That's an extreme monster pellet. They'll also eat algae wafers and stuff. And during the first week or so, we also give them frozen bloodworms and live baby brine shrimp. That kind of gets them going. That gets them over the import hump. Look at this guy here. He's found a little morsel. Look at that guy, bright blue head, trying to chew on whatever that is. They're not fast eaters. So these gobies, all the Stiphodon gobies, are grazers. They scrape biofilm and algae off the rocks that are in their natural environment, and that's not a lot of food. So they don't take big mouthfuls and swallow it. They kind of scrape little bits of food off at a time. Their teeth are like little combs, kind of like a snail or a pleco or something. And so it's important to remember when you're feeding these guys that they're grazers, they're going to take a lot of time. They need quite a while to be with their food, be scraping little bits off it and eating. So they'll get out-competed by fish that are food aggressive. They do best when you first get them if you put them in a really bioactive tank that has a lot of biofilm and algae. You know, an old tank that's been around for a while. And while they're settling in and learning to eat whatever you feed them, they can be scraping off the algae and biofilm and grazing on the wood and rocks and stuff in there. That's a good way to get these started. Small live and frozen foods also help too. Anyway, Stiphodon rutilaureus, one of the most stunning of the freshwater gobies. And this batch looks amazing. Like, look how their body weight is awesome. Now, the Stiphodon rutilaureus are rare and hard to find. This one's even harder. This is what they call the birdsong goby. It's Stiphodon surifus. These guys remain small, and they haven't developed their color yet, but they're going to get, look at those. They're small, but look at the good body weight on that fish. That's what we like. See that nice belly? That's what we want. They're one of the smaller species, and they don't have their color yet, but they're going to develop. This one back here is getting a little bit of the red in on its body. They're going to develop bright red sides, like a broad stripe, a broad racing stripe down each side of the body. Really pretty little fish when they color in. I've had them in the past, and so I know what they're going to look like when they finally settle. So if you like gobies and want one that's rarer and harder to find, still beautiful and stays small, a true dwarf, the birdsong goby might be a good option for you. And by the way, they are learning to eat dry food. See them back there on that extreme monster pellet, grazing on it. So they're making the transition. Okay, here is a new one. This is a new species of otocinclus. These come from Paraguay, which is different. This is, you know, this kind of southern South America, just above Argentina there, Paraguay. They come from the Rio Pirabibi, which is where they get their name. Their name is Otocinclus pirabibi. They're different than your normal otocinclus. They stay pretty small, around an inch. So these little guys here are close to full grown. You can see them there chewing on an algae wafer. They're eating well for us. These are aquarium bred and raised. So there were some folks from Germany that obtained these and were able to raise some, and then the breeder we buy them from obtained them from there. And so these were bred and raised in the aquarium. Supposedly they're quite easy to breed. There's some breeding reports, and they spawn similar to Corydoras. They use a T position, and the male will wrap around the female a little bit, and then she'll go and lay the egg singly on glass or plants or wood or whatever. So I think this would make a neat breeding project for folks. But anyway, aquarium bred and raised, which is what I like. Okay, here is a group of Melanitania sexlineata from Tububil, the lipstick rainbow fish, if you will. These are a small species. They top out at around, I don't know, I want to say around 3 inches. They don't get super big. Bright gold color on the adult males as they mature. Right now they're still immature, still coloring in, still in quarantine. But they're doing great. They're fat and sassy and healthy. They're eating really well. And yeah, we have what appears to be a decent sex ratio of these. So if you want a smaller species, if you like rainbow fish, but you're like, yeah, but they get so big, these guys might be an option. They stay fairly small, really brightly colored. This is one of the most popular rainbow fish we sell, and they're doing fantastic. So Melanitania sexlineata tububil. Okay, this is our current batch of raccoon tetras. Procyon is the species. This is, I think, one of the prettiest species of tetra ever. This is the one that got me interested in tetras again after I'd kind of been like, I've seen all the tetras. After a decade or so of not being too interested in them, I saw some of these as adults fully colored, and they blew my mind. Right now they're juveniles. They don't have their color, but they're going to turn into these absolutely bright, like rays of sunshine, bright yellows and oranges. And because of that, they're just so stunning that they literally shocked me back into interest of tetras when I saw them and saw how beautiful the fully colored males were when they were mature. Yeah, they blew my mind. So that is the raccoon tetra. Nice, healthy batch, juveniles, no color, but nice fat bellies and looking great. All right, this is our current group of Dumbo redtail platinum guppies. We might have them listed on the website in slightly different order. I think it's redtail platinum Dumbo ear guppies, something like that. But really good looking strain. These guys are what you want. Nice red on them. Even the females have quite a bit of red. Big Dumbo ears, and then just the amount of shine coming off the dorsal surface and the sides of these guys. That's the platinum. It's metallic. They just shine like jewelry. So nice healthy batch. We haven't had any problems with these guys. And if you're looking for a good breeding project, I think you could do a lot worse than these. These are are pretty awesome, and the strain looks like it's been worked properly. Okay, here's our current group of neon blue gobies. Again, they're in quarantine now, so you aren't seeing all the bright colors, but you can see the potential, the little bit of blue on the face there. Eventually, that's going to turn into bright blue all down the side, a big bright blue on the sides of the fish. So right now, they're still settling in, but they're eating well, they're fat and sassy, they're healthy, and the color will come. Now here's one that we've been out of for quite a long time. I'm really glad to have this back in stock. This is Melanitania Gary Langi, named after the one and only Gary Lang, who we all know and love. One of the true bowheads, one of the guys that's brought a lot of new species of rainbow fish into the hobby. Gary, if you're watching this, just thanks for everything you've done for the rainbow fish hobby. There's a lot of species we would not have access to if you had not gone to Papua New Guinea, braved all the leeches and other blood-sucking organisms, and collected them and brought them back for us. So thank you, we really appreciate that. Anyway, Gary Langi, named after one of the biggest rainbow fish freaks in the world. Also, a beautiful fish to boot. Gonna get a lot of golds and oranges as they mature and color in. Already showing pretty nice color, but man, just wait till you see an adult that's fully mature. Boom. While we're looking at rainbow fish, here are some excited Chilatherina bleheri. Excited because I just put some food in there. So they're doing what Chilatherina do, which is zip around like Danios looking for food. These are juveniles, adults, one of the prettiest rainbow fish ever. I say that for all the rainbow fish, but if you know rainbow fish, you know that, man, when they mature, they're stunning. And it's just a question of variety. Like each species or location is prettier than the last. It's kind of up to what you like, what your aesthetic is. But almost all of them in the hobby are absolutely stunning, the different species we have access to. Okay, here's another one that we've been out of for a while. I'm really happy to have back in stock. This is Pseudomugil Gertrudae, but not just any Gertrudae. These are the Aru 4s, which look like a Gertrudae. It's actually got dressed up for its wedding or for prom or something. They're extra fancy. They have the nice little specks on them, little tiny spots that make Gertrudae unique, but they also get these nice bright yellow-orange tips on the fins, and that's what kind of sets them apart from your everyday, normal, average aquarium strain Gertrudae. So that's what makes these kind of location-specific, slightly more expensive Gertrudae versions worth the price, in my opinion. Now, there's nothing wrong with a standard aquarium strain Gertrudae, the nice little spotted fish, but I like those bright little orange, red orange, or yellow orange tips on the fins. I just think it makes them look extra fancy. And man, they are not shy about eating. Some of the fish I filmed today, I've put the food in, and then as soon as I bring up the camera, they're kind of like, I don't know, and they haven't gone and like hoarded it like they usually do. These guys don't care. They're like, a giant camera staring at me? No problem, I'm still hungry. So these are the Bolivian orange lemon tetras. The traditional lemon tetra has been in the hobby for decades, is an old favorite because it's pretty, it's hardy. When they display and spread their fins, they're just amazing looking. This takes them to the next level. Right now, I know they kind of look brown because they're still in quarantine. I've only had them here for about 8 days. They're not, yet colored up. But when they do color up with kind of the yellow and orange on the fins, so take a lemon tetra, gussy it up even more, and that's what the Bolivian orange lemon tetra looks like. Really nice, very new addition, only been in the aquarium hobby for a few years. And when I've seen the adults colored up, every now and then I have them long enough that they'll color up for me, and I'm like, oh man, that's why these are awesome. Because when that orange comes in, it really does set them apart. All right, back by popular demand is this. This is the green leaf algae-eating shrimp. We did a test, several months ago, maybe a year ago now, where we did a mono shrimp, green leaf algae-eating shrimp, and Florida flagfish to see which was the most effective at eating hair algae. And what we did was we took a certain amount of hair algae, we weighed it out, so we made sure we had the same weight of hair algae in each tank, and then we just saw how long it took each species to polish that off. And these, the green leaf algae eating shrimp, beat all the other species. So according to our test results, this is the best or fastest algae eater for hair algae of those 3 species. So phenomenal algae eaters. And not only that, but they get some interesting, see kind of the gold triangles up the back of the shrimp there. They get interesting coloration. Some will be kind of green, some will be kind of orange. There appears to be quite a bit of variation in the species. So, a mono shrimp are great. I think these are a little more colorful, unless you get the new gold mono shrimp. Those are amazing, but they're also really expensive. So green leaf algae eating shrimp, I think, is a good option if you want to keep your tank nice and shiny. All right, this is our current group of Melanitania Tawa. I think this is going to be the most popular rainbow fish in the hobby within a few years. The reason I think that is I look at the dwarf neon rainbow fish, Melanitania praecox, and it's super, super popular. Why? Because it's small. It only gets, 2.5, 3 inches, something like that. And it's pretty. It's got a shiny blue, light kind of sky blue iridescent body with red on the edges of the fins. The reason I think this species is going to surpass that one in popularity fairly soon once the industry starts producing it is because it stays small as well, 2.5 to 3 inches, and it's even prettier. It's got more color, bright red tails, nice white contrasting other markings on the fins and body, and they get kind of this vertical contrast midway down the body when they're adults and colored up. That it's a high contrast, high color fish, and because of that, I think this is going to be the most popular rainbow fish in the hobby within a few years. That's my prediction. I think it'll surpass Melanotaenia praecox. Right now they're hard to get. They're still a little pricey, but look at this batch. These are just starting to get some color on a few of them, but they're healthy, they're fat and sassy, they're eating really well for us, and they're doing great. So I think they're going to thrive for you. If you like rainbow fish and you want a good breeding project, I think this is the one to do. I would love to buy hundreds of these. So if you can breed them, get me 100, 200, I would buy them. I want to be able to source this fish locally, and I want to get it out there because I think it's going to be amazing for the aquarium hobby. All right, some more Melanotaenia bosemani. These are the ones from Aves Creek. So the Melanotaenia from Aves Creek and the ones from my Tinjo are both stunning when they color in. The front half of the body gets really dark, the back half gets orange. Right now they're kind of lightish blue with a little bit of yellow, which is pretty standard for Melanotaenia bosemani. But these two locations turn bright orange as they mature and settle in. I recently did a tour of Shoreline Aquatics in Seattle, Washington. Does a lot of Altum Angels and stuff, but also has a big display tank that had a whole bunch of, I think it was Aves Creek bosemanis. It might have been Itinjo, but that video, when that comes out, take a look and you'll see how orange they are as adults. And I didn't color correct that or saturate it or anything. They're still pretty right now with their blues and their yellows, but when that yellow turns orange and the front half goes dark, that's when they're stunning. I call them the Halloween rainbow because it's almost like black on orange. Anyway, beautiful fish, glad to have it back in stock, and these are gonna go so fast. This is one that's difficult for us to keep in stock. I wish we had hundreds of them, but this is what we've got right now. All right, this is a very special glassfish. We're all familiar with the one we see in the pet stores, which is Chanaranga. This is a different species. This is Gymnochandavere. And what makes it super cool is, first of all, it doesn't need brackish water. These actually come from blackwater habitats. You know, tannin stained, peaty, dark, soft water, freshwater habitats. So the point is you don't have to mix salt to keep these, and they'll do just fine in freshwater long term. Now our water here is super hard. Our pH is 8.4. Our calcium carbonate hardness is like 300 parts per million. Super hard alkaline water. So they've been adjusted to that, even though they come from soft acidic water environments. The other thing that's really cool about these is their color and the extensions they get on their fins. So they get nice, bright red coloration on the fins, and the males get these nice long extensions. These are a small fish. They're gonna top out at maybe slightly over an inch. They don't get very big, and they're a gregarious fish. So these need to be kept in groups. These are not gonna do great if you get like 1, 2, or 3. They're gonna wanna be kept in groups of, 8, a dozen, 50, 100. The bigger the group, the better for these guys. We're feeding ours mostly live and frozen foods. Johnny did tell me the other day that they've started eating flakes and stuff as well. So they are eating some dry prepared foods. But there you go. Gymnochandavere. There, I think I remembered it correctly. This is my first time having these, and so far so good, and I'm really excited about them. Okay, and here is a long-awaited return of Stiphodon annieae. Like the rutilaureus, perhaps the prettiest of the freshwater Stiphodon goby species. Bright blues, bright reds, intricate patterns on the fins. Absolutely stunning little fish. So I know a lot of folks have been waiting for them. This group's doing pretty well. They're still in quarantine, so they've got another a week or so to go before, well, from the time of this filming, we've got another week or so to go. By the time the video is posted, then they'll probably be ready for you. But as of now, they're doing fairly well. We're transitioning them to dry foods. They're eating frozen brine shrimp and frozen bloodworms. I'm sorry, live baby brine shrimp and frozen bloodworms. And they're starting to get used to dry prepared foods, pellets and algae wafers and stuff. So we're getting them there, but look at them. They came in good shape. They have decent body weight. They have good color, and I'm excited about them. I think this group is going to do really well. Okay, here's the latest group of the L201 Snowball plecos. Looking good, fat and sassy, doing well for us. These guys don't get huge, which is nice. So we're talking about 4 or 5 inches, something like that, maybe 6 on an absolute giant. So they're a manageable size, and they have that neat pattern. So if you like plecos and want something better than a common pleco to keep, I would say this is a good one, because the common plecos, they're awesome. They just get too big. And if you're like, well, I tried common plecos and I've tried bushy nose, I'm ready for the next level, the Snowball pleco might be a good choice for you. Okay, here's a nice group of aquarium bred and raised chubby plecos. We're gonna flip over the plate, and see if we can get some on camera for you. Go ahead, keep going. Oh, well, okay, move the plate then. They're on the floor. I need the light. There they are. They're not gonna look like much over in the dark back corner, but I'll show you what I can. What I do know is I have pictures of the parents, and as they grow, they're gonna develop yellow on them. So they're gonna get more yellow, and sometimes some of the dark stays, and they get like this neat yellow dark blotch pattern. So that's the chubby plecos. Right now they're little, so they don't have any yellow yet, but they are definitely chubby. They are fat and they are sassy. All right, so that's the latest and greatest here at Dan's Fish. I think we have over 300 species available right now at dansfish.com, so go check them out. If you want to learn more about aquarium fish, we do a live stream every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the Dan's Fish YouTube channel. I'd love to see you there. And until next time, I hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.